It's time to bring back the Tri and Quad series on the international cricket calendar. That's what we're discussing on Hoggs Vlog. Well, there was a question sent to me on Twitter. It was from Aditya. His handle is @CrickCrazyAddy. Thanks very much for the question, Aditya. I'm going to answer it on my vlog because it's such a good question that needs to be discussed. Hoggy, why are those triangular series and quadrangular series not being played nowadays? I'm missing them, and they used to be a lot of fun. I totally agree with you, Aditya, and there's a perfect opportunity to bring those formats back right now, especially with what's happening around the world with pandemics, travel restrictions, and people having to go into quarantine for a certain amount of time before they can go out and resume their normal life. I hope I got resume out right there. Sounded a bit funny as I let it go. But if we look at the calendar now between the World Cup Test Championship final that's just happened and the World 50 Over World Cup that's going to happen in February 23, India are playing 162 days of cricket and New Zealand are playing 103. All the other teams are playing in between that. So there's a huge discrepancy between the amount of games played between the opposition. Now, I'm going to use India as an example here because there's a perfect opportunity to have a quad series happening in England right now. Remember, India have got a test series over there waiting for a 5 test match championship series to happen against England. And they've also got a one-day team that is situated in Sri Lanka, ready to play Sri Lanka in a one-day series when they arrive back from England. But you've also had New Zealand over in England just playing in 2 test matches. So you've got 4 teams on English soil right now, of which 2 teams are going to play in a test match series, one out the start and one out the back end of it. And in between, you can have a one-day series, which is a quad series between Sri Lanka, England, New Zealand and India. Now, you ask, well, Pakistan were meant to go over there and play England right now in a white ball format series as well. Well, totally agree with you, but we can change the calendar to suit the situation. What Pakistan could do is go over to the West Indies and play against Australia there in a tri series of both one-dayers and T20 internationals. What you're doing there is giving more competition, more opportunity, and more games being played in the one area. So the idea of this is to limit the travel, limit the time that players and stakeholders are in quarantine, and play more games of cricket throughout the cricket calendar year in a more compact situation. Also, it allows the players to spend more time out home. So that's the quadrangular series type scenario. But I think the ICC and the boards around the world can look at a better scenario where you play the tri series. Now, what happens with a tri series in the white ball format is that you play a number of one-day games and T20 games in a particular period. But before that triangular series happens, you play a test series against one of those teams that are going to participate in the triangular series. And then after the triangular series, you play another test series against the other team that's there. So again, you've compounded more cricket in a more compact period of time and allowed the players to have more rest and more time at home through this strenuous period. So for me, I think it's time to bring back the tri-series calendar. I don't see the world changing over the next year or two with what's going on with the pandemic. We're going to have travel restrictions. So we've got to look to the future and see how we can best utilise our resources to get the best out of our games and the best out of our players to make sure they're fresh and produce the goods on the field to the best of their ability. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you have other ideas? Get your comments downstairs and let's share them with each other on the feed below. Thanks very much for joining me, guys. Stay safe, enjoy your cricket, and I'll see you later on in the week for another Hoggs vlog.